We're live. Nah, Vikram, that's not my thing. Hi, guys. Hope you all can hear me. What's up? What's up? Yeah, they do look good, bro. Thanks, thanks, thanks. Angela is gonna join us real soon, guys. Any which ways, I'm sure that everyone's running for foam runners as of now. It's gonna take some time for people to join in. Of course, Vikram. It had to be. This is literally the first uh, drop we are having. Oh, okay. Okay, so Iceberg's also over here. Iceberg's gonna join us tonight at 9. Hi guys. Hi Angela. Hi Iceberg. Hope you all are doing well. I'm gonna just quickly add Angela and that's when we're gonna start up with our conversation. Let's see the shirt. Okay, so here's the shirt. Yeah, this one's from Nike, of course. It had to be. And yeah, of course, I forgot. Happy Airmax Day, guys. Happy Airmax Day to each and every one of you. I hope to see a lot of cool Air Maxes and like the on feet looks. Just tag us down, and I'll love to see what everyone's rocking today. There's a shirt giveaway? No, not really. Hello, hi Angela.
Hi.
Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, hope you're doing good.
It's all good. I think it's around midnight over there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so sorry. It's just because of the time zones we had to like come up with something, and this was
The
literally the last resort we had.
yeah, no, it's honestly perfect timing because it's midnight for me, but I think it's noon for you. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's around 12 and a half hours difference.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So how has everything been going? How was the quarantine time for you?
It was I still worked, but I also gave birth to another baby in the last year.
Oh,
So,
beautiful.
um, I stayed home unpaid for a good portion of COVID at the beginning, just to stay safe and to be able to have their dad in the room with me too. So yeah.
Oh, sure, sure, sure. And where are the kids right now? Are they slept?
Yeah. They're hey, what up everybody? Just seeing everybody joining. He took them for a drive because the baby woke up right before we were getting on.
Okay.
And as you saw, I
Yeah.
messaged you. So he offered to take them for a drive, and I think he's watching right now from the car.
Oh, okay. Okay. It might take though, like over here, we are having the foam runners drop right now. So it
Yeah,
might take a couple of minutes for people to join in, but we can definitely start up with our conversation. We're gonna later on post this as well. So people can probably follow up later on as well.
cool.
So yeah, first of all, it's a privilege to have you over here. I'm sure that everyone's gonna love our conversation and whatever you'll be sharing with us, your experiences and everything.
Yeah.
So
No,
first of
I'm
all,
honored
yeah,
to be asked. Thank you so much for asking me. And I'm really happy that Iceberg and Chenika are coming on later today too, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that'll be fun.
That will definitely be fun. We personally tried on, connecting with GCan also. We tried connecting with, others also, all the other inductees of the Masters of Airmax.
Yeah,
But, it was just about the time limitations. And obviously, because it's Airmax Day, though, so everyone has their own, own commitments also.
yeah,
So, but definitely moving forward, we might have a couple of these other, pioneers also super soon.
yeah.
So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I like the
So
shirt, by the way.
thank you so much. This is something that everyone's been talking about before you joined in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving forward, first of all, I would like to know how did you actually get into this whole obsession of collecting sneakers in general, first of all, and then into Air Maxes?
Yeah, so in general, I think it was really just with Jordans. I started to like Air Max. Honestly, there was like this pivotal moment. I was in high school and I went, all you could really do is go to the mall. And I lived in Las Vegas. I had just moved there with my mom. And I saw the 95s there. I didn't know they were 95s. And of course, they weren't really called 95s then.
Yeah.
Um, and something about just that gradient gray with the pop of
Yeah.
color, it's either bold or it was bright, either one. And there were multiple of them, like all like Foot Locker knew what to do. They were
Yeah.
all lined up like right here, and they were just right at eyesight, and I'm very short. So it was
Yeah.
I think love at first sight with those. I didn't get a pair. I didn't get a pair for a very long time because they were really out of a price range for somebody in high school
Yeah.
that parents might not support that. So probably the first thing that I purchased was my Jordan 16s, the white and red, the low
Yeah.
with the snaps, not with the shroud. Yeah.
Okay.
And it just kind of it snowballed very quickly, mainly because of Nike Talk. The early
Yeah.
2000s, everybody just connected, and it was just a small community, and it was really easy to just snowball and get bigger and bigger.
True, true, true. I think Nike Talk was like the social media platform for all the Nike heads,
Hmm. Yeah,
pretty much. And
yeah,
that's how I think this entire obsession about Nikes and not just about Jordans, but general stuff also got like really hyped up.
yeah, yeah. There's a big brand loyalty pull with me there. I've always loved swoosh, and it's seeing all the comments. I don't know how you do this. I don't know how you read and talk at the same time because I want to say hello to everyone.
Don't worry,
um,
we're gonna acknowledge everyone who's commenting down
yeah,
once we are done like with this conversation. So I'm gonna keep acknowledging all these people.
awesome, great. Okay. Hi, Ange from Seattle. um, So what were we talking about? Sorry, I have mom brain too.
The brand loyalty and you loving the swoosh.
Yeah, so brand loyalty, and then I mean that started really early on because I think from the moment I was living in an apartment on my own, sleeping on the floor, quickly shoes stacked around me, and I think I had a tattoo very shortly after that, and it was a
Okay.
Airmax tattoo, my first Nike
Oh,
tattoo. Yeah.
okay. That's way too much. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Definitely. So as you talked about like the 95s, which were on the shelves and they were either bold or they were really bright, they're colorful. So were you always into like all these colors, or do you like the minimalistic stuff also, or like the blacks and the whites?
Um, I think if I liked any just not really minimalist, but just more of a basic color, it would have to be true to like Chicago Bulls and Trailblazers, Portland. Just black, red, and white.
Yeah,
Always because of Jordan,
definitely.
obviously. So,
Definitely, definitely.
yeah.
So rest, most of the stuff that you have is all bright, colorful, and all of that.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit wild. Like I have something with me that's not bright, but and this was at the outlet. So it was on sale. It was a good deal, and it's not hyped up or anything like
Yeah.
that, but I really liked just the craziness of this.
Definitely, it's beautiful.
So, yeah.
I feel there are a lot of colorways. There are a lot of, from the color blocking and stuff. There are a lot of Air Maxes which are just not hyped up, but they are just really, really beautiful looking shoes. And a lot
Yeah.
of times we find them like under markdowns or under the discounted categories, even on Nike official sites.
Yeah.
And it's just about, the right side of people pulling the trigger at the right moment.
Yeah, yeah. And I think
Yeah.
I think a lot of people wait because we want to see if it goes on sale. I mean, mentality of us. So it's just I think that just kind of is set in our brain.
Angela, we lost you over there for a moment.
Oh, sorry. I was just
Oh, that's-
saying it's just kind of like the old school mentality of
Yeah,
saving money and waiting to see if things will go on sale. And
definitely.
I'm pretty sure Nike knows that, and
Yeah.
they don't really appreciate it, but we're your long-term customers and most brand loyal.
Yeah, true, true. And I think that that's something that everyone knows and understand until unless you're completely a hype beast who just all about hype or just the big collabs. I feel everyone as a true sneakerhead, it's not just about having a lot of sneakers or having the knowledge about it, but also knowing as to when to buy what. Because you can
Yeah.
always wait for a couple of more days if you know that maybe down the line you might find them at a discounted price. And
Yeah.
that's when, even if you have that much of pool of money, you can probably buy multiple sneakers for the same price point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Personally speaking, that's how I personally roll.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you kind of build. Um,
Yeah,
if you want to build. Plus, I mean, you should really build on what you love. You shouldn't just build on the hype. I get right now a lot of brands are built around the hype,
yeah,
and continuing to just kind of like ride that wave. But as long as you stick with what you love, you're gonna wear it, hopefully.
true, true, true. I personally truly believe this thing, and this is something that I tell everyone, be it hype, be it the GRs, be it anything and everything. Till the time you're actually wearing it, it's all cool. If you're not wearing, even if it's just a basic GR and you've just kept it like because it's probably a collectible for you, then it
Yeah.
doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But has it ever been like a case with you, wherein you've probably copped a pair which is not your size, but you just bought it because of the colorway or because it's probably a collectible for you?
I actually have a really good story, but it wasn't something I purchased. It was a gift.
Okay.
Um, so I'm sure you have questions leading up to this, but I'll fast forward for a minute in our agenda. And when we were on campus, all the other Masters of Air and we were with Tinker in the Winnebago, which is like, you know, the ultimate mega room on campus. And
Yeah.
we I'm nervous just thinking about it again. So the whole sportswear team came in and surrounded us to listen to us kind of give our feedback and talk about things. And you know, I sat somewhere where I wouldn't think would be center of attention, and Tinker came and sat right next to me. So I think I have sweaty palms right now just thinking about it. And they asked us to go around the room and say our favorite Airmax. And I said, really? You want to start with me? And I said, okay, Stash 95s. um, and you know, that's not his design, that's Sergio's design, so it was a
Yeah.
little bit but I was honest and I stayed true to myself. I mean, I love the Air Max 1, and obviously I love Jordans like 3 through 15 and
Yeah.
on. um anyway, so somebody in sportswear um heard that, and they were working on something that was going to come out later, and it
Okay.
ended up being this shock drop on sneakers, and I don't think it's dropped anywhere else. And so um,
Okay.
they dropped it off, and they said, okay, I'm going to give you some samples of something, but you can't exactly G14 classified. um, but you can't really post it or anything. But I'm hoping, since it released a few years later,
Yeah.
that I can show you. There's very minimal differences. They're a size 9. So
Okay.
obviously I can't wear them, but they know that I appreciate it because it's as close as we could get to Stash. So give me just
Yeah.
a second
Sure.
and I'll grab it. Hold on. I'm going to put you down. Sorry.
No worries.
Okay, something fell. Okay, so Um, does anybody on here like LeBron?
I personally
Maybe.
do. I do.
So it was these samples.
Oh, beautiful.
And it
That
was
looks
just like
insane.
I was shaking opening the box. I'm like I couldn't believe it. It's, you know, not my size. I can't show you the tag. Um, but
Yeah.
just to see the details, and like the bubble is a little bit different, I think, than what came
Yeah.
out. Uh, trying to see if there's different details on the other one. No, but it's just so cool to see them. Sorry, I'm about to set it up. Just to see them, like, so I don't
Yeah.
know, that's something I didn't I'll never be able to wear them, but you know, they're about as close as I can get to a Stash 95. And then like the eyelet lacing. Yep, that's
That's that's
they're a little,
definitely an exhibition pair. That's definitely an exhibition pair.
yeah. Sorry. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, sure. So I'm like, first of all, like I'm thrilled to know the fact that you were actually sitting by the side of Tinker himself. To be very, to be very honest, the first pioneer, if I may say, or the first legend, I would say, whom we got to connect with and to have a live session with was Joe Foster, who's the founder of Reebok. And
Yeah.
even while we were like just connecting digitally, like my hands were literally shaking because he's such a legend. It's like one of the craziest brands that he has created, one of the biggest, definitely.
Yeah.
And I can honestly not even imagine what's the feeling that you must be going through at that point in time.
Yeah.
This was around 2016, I guess.
It was, yeah, it was 2016. You definitely digged up your facts.
Yeah, yeah,
Dug up
yeah,
your
I'm sure.
facts. See, I'm nervous now just talking to you.
Nah, it's all chill. It's all good. So before we move on, if anyone has any questions, if anyone wants to ask anything, please go ahead, and we would love to answer as many possible. And We would love to know your views also on anything and everything that we are actually having a discussion about. Yes, happy Airmax Day, guys. A lot of people have been wishing us, and besides that, a lot of people have been asking, like, what are your reviews about the bacons?
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm really, really excited. I've messaged Dave over the years. Sometimes he responds, sometimes he doesn't. Like, I'll send him a picture of himself from an old Soul Collector magazine. He was wearing the Deftone Dunks. And I'll just be like, hey, what up? I was randomly going through a magazine and I saw this. And then, he'll be like, oh, that's cool. And then, he responded a couple times this week too. But my affinity with the Bacons is because when I went to New York, somebody that's actually watching us right now, Nick, uh, it's Mini Greek on here. We went to New York as a group, and DQM was the first store I went to in New York. Like we did the round. We went to DQM and Clientele, Supreme, A Life. Like we did all of that. But DQM was the very first spot I went to New York. My very first time ever going to New York.
Okay.
So that's a really big deal for me. So I'm hoping that I get the Bacons. I've joined every raffle I could find online, but so far no luck. I'm wishing everyone here luck, but I kind of want them too.
So obviously, as you know, like India is definitely like just beginning to evolve into like a sneaker market, just the way probably a US is, or maybe Japan is. It's just it has just started off, and it's just like the first few steps we have taken, and it's a pretty big deal for us because we are getting bacons over here, and it's actually not just on sneakers, but also on a couple of retail stores
Oh,
which
that's
is
cool.
of course, yeah, which is of course shout out to Veg, Non-Veg, and Super Kicks, and that's insane. That's pretty insane because even the founders of both these retail stores, like we are kind of cool friends with them, and one of the founders actually posted about how big of a deal it was for him even to get just a feel of bacons, and now the fact that he's actually bringing them to India and pushing it around ahead,
Yeah,
that's definitely a pretty big deal.
that is a big deal. That's awesome. That would
Yeah,
be so
yeah.
cool to be there. I wish we could travel to go and be there.
Oh, you have no idea. And the way that people are actually hosting these raffles over here is insane. Like how Super Kicks is actually happening is like they've asked everyone to, push any sort of a content through Instagram, wherein they just show their love for Air Maxes. It can be anything. They
Yeah.
can show their on-feet looks, they can show their collections, they can show anything. They can create an illustration, whatever. And out of all those people, they're gonna pick and choose who's gonna win what.
Oh, see, that's the way to
Obviously,
do it. Things like
yeah,
that, and then donations. I think getting just the community active in
yeah.
either way, I think that's really good.
True, true, true. Obviously, like I'm sure, like there are way too limited number of pairs that we'll be getting in. Any which ways, it's very limited globally as well. And coming down to India, it's gonna be way too less, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
that's probably a great way to go about it because you can't really pinpoint as to it's probably something that people have been biased about or whatever. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's pretty cool, and I'm sure that you definitely have your own plugs to connect with to get your hands on bacon. I'm sure.
I probably could, but I don't want to ask. I don't want to ask people. It just
Yeah,
feels kind of cheap. I mean, like I joked at one of my friends, like, "Oh, can you do this?" And he's like, maybe." But I mean, I'm not gonna hard up ask people for it. It just feels kind of weird.
yeah, true, true. Though we are also connected heavily with all these people, but I also don't like to ask it because there's a different fun to it to, trying to cop by yourself and probably just standing in a lineup and entering your own raffles, traveling around. That's just a different fun altogether. And that's
Yeah,
probably just another big element of being a part of something what we all love.
Yeah. So I went I to your point, I went on my way to work yesterday, I think it was. I stopped at a couple stores we have out here, Likelihood and Bait, and just went to go talk to some friends and drop off, my raffle entries and then go on to work like a normal day. But it was cool because I just kind of got to walk around with some friends before I went to work.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you get to connect with a lot of new faces also, and you just connect on, just because you love the same thing. I think that's
Yeah.
the beautiful part of it.
Yeah. I saw a lot of younger people. So it's pretty neat to see like there's a new generation coming.
Yeah,
The ones that really love it, not just the flippers.
yeah,
I don't want to say reseller, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
Um, but you see a lot of new people, and they get to view this like art. It's art. That's what they are. So they get to view this art in a whole different way. Um,
yeah.
it's really cool to see the evolution of it.
True. I do
And
have a question about
I'm
it.
eating
I,
ice cream, by the way.
I oh,
I'm
it's good. I do actually have a question about it regarding the new gen coming in, but before that, we're gonna answer a couple of these questions that we've got. So
okay.
someone just asking, what's your shoe size?
I'm a 23 cm, so that's usually like a 4.5 in boys or a
Okay,
6 in women's
okay.
US size.
US sizes. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. And what's the one Air Max that you wear the most?
Right now, it's my undefeateds.
Okay,
The 9.7s that just dropped. That's another thing too is undefeated since day one on La Brea. That's where I was at every weekend. And I lived in Vegas, but I drove to LA, and some people that are following or watching right now, they can attest to this that I
okay.
drove out there every weekend and
Every
put
weekend.
so many miles on my car. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, that's that. Someone's just asking, Air Max 95s or 97s, which one would you choose?
95s, but 97s is a very, very close second.
Okay, okay. But which silhouette would be like your like up there at the top for you?
95s. Yeah.
95s?
Yeah.
So where does the personally asking, where do 90s and the ones come in? Because I personally feel like those are like the top tier ones.
Yeah, they're the classic, the
Yeah,
90s and the ones.
yeah.
But yeah. I don't know. It's honestly like it's a very, I don't know another word to say it. Classic. Sorry, I'm having mom brain again. um
No, but if we have to like put them around in a tier list, we
yeah.
have all these classic silhouettes, ones, 90s, 95s, 97s. Even now like we can probably consider Vapor Maxes also now, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So yeah, so considering all these silhouettes, how would you rank these all out? From your personal preference, of course.
uh it's yeah, so it would go probably 95, 97, 190. But those change. I feel like it changes based on what I want to wear.
That does make sense. That does make sense. But
Because go
is it
ahead.
also basis the colorway or the collaboration that comes in?
Yeah, it's I was just going to reference the like the infrared 90s. That's a
Yeah.
classic. Um and to answer that, yes, it is probably most likely the Japanese influence for choosing the 95. Um I really like just the crazy colors. I like how it's very simple, but all of a sudden it's just a pop of color. Hi, Jane.
Sure. So Shrey's asking which one's the comfiest Air Max that you've actually worn?
Hmm. I'm trying to, it's really new. Not
Okay.
really new, but it's newer.
Okay.
I don't have I have one of them with me right now, but I really thought that this was really comfy. The Zero. So
Yeah.
that's probably the comfiest. Otherwise, yeah, I'd probably take it back to 95 or the 90. Yeah, tuned air too. Ah, I forgot.
Sure.
There's
Sure.
so much Air Max love. I love it.
Yeah, there is. There definitely is. At least for the day, if not more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, though 95 definitely is like your top pick for from your collections or from your personal preferences. But even with different collaborations coming in, they use different materials, they use different stuff, right? As to make a sneaker. So, which one's probably your top tier amongst the 95s? If you have to
Oh.
say like the top one, two, and three, like the pedestal.
Um, that's hard. I actually don't have them here. I couldn't find them. I have some blend 95s.
Okay.
I got pair 95 of 95. There were only 95 sold. Um, and that was a really big deal for me. And then I got the because I'm trying to reference things that I wear, not
Okay.
just a quote unquote grail because I feel like that word's used too much also.
Sure.
Um, yeah, so my blend 95s and I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough question.
That's okay. We'll
Neons.
get.
Neons are the classic.
Okay.
That's pretty much, and then it just expands from there. My tattoo is based off of the grape colorway from the
Okay.
95s.
Sure. So we'll get back to that once again, probably once you get back an idea as to which one are like the top tier ones. And before we start answering other questions, I have this one question, like just the way you said, like all these, mm, how do I say it? Like the new gen coming in
Hmm.
and just bringing in this whole new vibe to the whole culture and getting into it who are not the flippers but who are actually getting it for the culture and everything and because they love it.
Yeah.
Do you feel that still, personally, because this is something that I feel, there's still a lack of, knowledge and love in today's culture wherein people are only moving towards the hype bit? Because I feel the people who are getting it because of the hype or just to move these sneakers are way too many, other than the people who actually buy it because they love it or because they want to wear it.
Yeah. Um, so
Because I
is all
personally feel
your
the people who are actually getting into it these days, it's more sort of for say the Travises or the Off-White collabs, something like that, or maybe because of just the Jordan 1 hype, even if it's a classic pair or whatever, but it's for the Jordan 1 hype, right? But it's actually the people who have been into this whole space for say quite some time now, leaving India behind. To be very honest, leaving India behind, even if we consider US. We saw even if there were so many people who were getting the Karma indexes, they
yeah.
were either the OG guys or they were only getting it because they wanted to flip them and because they understood that okay, there is a heritage value to it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it's tough because I think that there is um a small percentage in between those two extremes. And that
Okay.
small percentage, I've seen younger people, or the newer generation of collectors or just, enthusiasts. I've seen them really educate themselves on the history, the heritage of either the brand or the designer. Like maybe they follow this designer and
Yeah.
all their different shoes or designs, and those I think you can tell that they're not. in it for the fad, but they do happen
Yeah.
to like some of the hype. That's hard. I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
a radio on a song. I mean, a radio on a song. A song on the radio that plays over and over. I mean, you're just kind of being a little bit manipulated to like it, right? So it's the
True.
same thing. And no diss to the sneakers app because I know a lot of people that worked on it, and that's honestly
Yeah.
how we all became the masters of air was, um, for the sneakers app in a sense. Um, but it just kind of spits out a little bit, this and that, and it's hype. But there are a lot of other people that don't just buy the hype.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they buy what
Yeah.
they like, they buy what they
See, that's what
like.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You buy what you like and you wear what you wear. That's
Yeah.
the whole concept and that's the whole idea of it.
Yeah. I have to almost
Yeah.
compartmentalize so that I don't get irritated with
Okay.
everyone. I don't have
Okay.
any sneakers app secrets, I promise. I get all
Okay.
L's all day.
See, that's pretty much how we live every single day because these days, obviously, because of COVID, there were a lot of delays that, in the releases that were supposed to happen in India. And as soon as there were, some leniency in the restrictions, we had like consecutive drops happening every single day, possibly. There were Jordan
Yeah.
1s dropping, there were Yeezys dropping, there were, ample of other sneakers dropping. There was Sean Wotherspoon that happened to drop over here in India and
Yeah.
people were just going bonkers about it, but just the fact that it dropped every single day, people were taking L's, left, right, and center.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not just from one platform coming in from India, wherein the space is so small any which ways, and everyone knows everyone from the sneaker community. Uh, there were so many people who were taking L, say, at multiple platforms, be it the retail stores, be it the official websites, be it, say, something like a sneakers or whatever. It was just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's hard when you put out all this effort and you don't even get like one. You don't even get like 5% of a
Yeah,
win. And
you
and
pretty
that's
much
not
got
just
to.
talking in 1 week. That's talking with like it's been months since I got a
Yeah.
win. And that seems to be what everyone is going through right now.
It very recently started off happening wherein people started getting the dubs on sneakers app for from India, to be very honest. Because earlier they were, we all definitely had a sneakers website, but we never really got any dubs for India because it was like a more holistic website wherein there were a lot of other countries also who were a part of the same domain. So that's
Okay.
probably one of the reasons. That's probably one of the reasons.
Yeah, so you're
So moving
competing with other
with other countries also,
countries.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but finally there have been like a handsome amount of pairs that are coming down to India, so we're kind of happy about it. But again, it's all in the resale market, and you just got
Yeah.
to pay the premium no matter what.
Ugh.
Uh,
It's hard though because I feel like that is you're voting with your wallet by paying the resale.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
but I mean, I'm guilty of it too. Like I've been short on money where, we had to pay our daycare and I couldn't afford it. So I sold a pair of shoes,
yes,
and it's not
yeah.
like it's not like I would ever sell something that was given to me as a gift, or anything like that. But yeah, it's hard when
Sure.
you know that people are selling and all of the sorry, that was Alexa.
That's okay.
Damn it. um there was a question earlier and I really want to speak to this because it happened to
Okay,
me today and it happens every single time. The other Ange in Seattle, um there's two of us.
okay,
um there's this thing where they do the sneakers pass and whenever it says big kids I hit it and I've even taken recorded my phone while I've done this and it still only shows men's sizing even though it's a big kids
okay.
like pass or a reserve to go pick up from Nike Seattle and I just don't get it.
I was just
tattoos.
about to, I was just about to, actually say this to you because considering the size that you have, you can easily get like a GS run also,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And that's
it's
that's not just, from an accessibility perspective, but also the fact that you get to save up a lot of money.
uh no.
Not really?
No. I don't know if it's happening. Maybe it's not happening yet for you guys,
Okay.
or maybe you don't
Okay.
notice because you are, of a more popular size run. But with sizes like 4 and 5, it's less production, and they're the resellers buy them first. And if you look on any of the sites or go to consignment around your area, the smallest sizes are actually selling for more than like a size
Yeah.
9 or size 10
True.
because
True.
there's
True. That's
maybe,
true.
two that happen to be sold in your city.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but I was just talking about the retail pairs because definitely the retail on the GS runs is like lesser than the adult runs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
it's
let's
it's more expensive. Anyway, go ahead, move on.
yeah.
Sorry.
So we have again we have a couple of questions from the people. So someone just asked, Clot Airmax ones or Bacon 90s? Which one's your pick?
Bacons.
Definitely, yeah. But what do
Yeah.
you think about the Clot collab?
I like them. I like that when they first came out, it was really pushing the envelope with all the design. Um, I've never worn a clear shoe, so
Okay.
I don't know, even with socks, how much they fog up. That would be something that I would have to experience firsthand. Um,
Yeah.
but I think that they just like, I think that he went all out when they were, going over the design, and to have them come back out, I was really surprised, and I think I'm really happy for all the people that missed it that might be able to get it. We'll see, because
Yeah.
now our little niche community or subculture is, you know, it's
Yeah.
mega.
True, definitely, definitely. But I feel like that's just one way of having, something like a Clot Air Max 1 or something like there was an earlier pair like I think it was an ambush pair of Dunks, something which
Hmm.
is like a clear sneaker.
Yeah,
So that's like one way you can actually flaunt your socks collection also,
yeah,
which is
which
very
is
rare.
good now, but back
Yeah,
then, like Brandon NC Twin, he's seeing Espos. Back then, they didn't even have nice socks.
yeah,
I don't even think they had Team Elite socks back then. Now you got like Stance, and I think
yeah.
the Hundreds might have put out some. And we have a shop here, Alive and Well. They put, well, a brand here, Alive and Well. They put out some really cute socks for Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah,
So I
sure.
got those for my Valentine gift.
Oh, beautiful. Nah, so yeah, the socks game is like there at the top these days because a lot of people have started doing it. It's not just Nike or Adidas, whatever, but Hundreds came up with something. I
Hmm.
think there was Chinatown Market that also came up with something.
Yeah.
And definitely even if we talk about the hype stuff, Travis merch and Thrashers and ASSCs and everyone is pretty much doing socks, and that's probably one way having a clear player of sneakers is just one way to
Yeah.
probably flaunt them. And also, shout out to a couple of people who are doing some really cool socks over here, which is one, again, Super Kicks came up with their tie-dye socks, which is again great for people who want to get into it. And two Kalakarni Studios, again, they're also like just a homegrown brand. And
Hmm.
they're also doing tie-dyes on Nike Authentics. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So
I like
again, and
go
so
ahead.
sorry, please go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say a lot of people are doing tie dye on socks. I know my friend Sammy is doing it from Fruition. She started doing some,
Okay.
and then Mikey, the camp out on here. Um, I know he's doing. I mean, that's not the basis of what he's doing, but he's done them too. I
Okay.
honestly just kind of want to try it at home too, to just
Yeah.
play with more colors.
Yeah.
I have a pair of off-white Vapor Max. I dyed
Okay.
those like a light lavender. So, but I didn't
That's
tie dye.
Yeah, no, but that still takes a lot of courage to dye a collab pair that's any which ways an off-white.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
that's something that only someone who really wants to wear a specific sneaker in a specific way, that's the person who's gonna do it, not the
Yeah.
people who's probably just a collector or doing it for the fad of it.
Yeah.
That it's just great to connect with someone like you. So moving forward again, the Ange from Seattle, the other Ange from Seattle is asking your favorite collabs.
Oh yeah. I think I was answering it as she said it. I think it was blends. Um,
Okay.
and then also Atmos. I see somebody, so I'll answer two at
Yeah,
once. The Probably the Animal Atmos 95s.
Animal Pack, beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that was another one of those. I didn't get them when they came out. So I
Okay.
got them the next round, and um I think I was pregnant and I was on bed rest. So Derek went and waited in line for me to get them.
That's
He's a
that's
sweetheart.
crazy. That's crazy. That's probably should be like one way wherein you should have, when probably you're going on your first few dates to connect with someone you wanna end up with your life with. That could probably be like the first call saying that can you actually stand in lineups for me?
Yeah, yeah.
That should be like the first few things for, people like us. That's insane.
Yeah. I think that's I don't want to say it's super unique because I feel like I've seen it around, but we definitely have that. But we also it's a beautiful part of the relationship. The hard part of the relationship is we fight over every closet in the house.
I'm sure.
And we come up with lies that we know the other person's lying, like, oh, did you order those? Or he'll say some ridiculous stuff like, oh, this happened on accident, this happened on accident. And I was like, yeah, that's like your most famous line right now. It happened on accident. Because all these boxes keep showing up and we try and hide it from each other. So it's kind of funny because we really know the deal with each other, but we still act like little kids about it. Like, oh no, I didn't mean to buy these. They just came.
Sure, sure, sure. So someone just asked, do you remember the S-Pos? I'm probably expecting a cool story about it.
Yeah, no, when he was talking about the clear shoes and seeing how I was saying I don't know how they fog up and stuff, but when the Espos came out, I remember camping out at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. I didn't get any. I didn't get the Pharrells or Halle Berrys or anything of the artist series. Um, I felt like I was just there to hang out, and we probably camped for like a day and a half because everybody from LA drove to Vegas and waited in
Yeah,
that line too.
yeah.
Um, yeah, but
I feel, that's one thing that pretty much everyone does because there are times when people start lineups over here at retail stores, say a night before, and a couple of people who probably just, hop on for the lineup in the morning, they know that as a matter of fact, it's gonna be an L for them
yeah,
because there are not a lot of pairs coming in, but they still, stay over there to hang out, chill around with friends, understand the vibe, what's going to be like, and I think that's again the fun part of it.
yeah,
Okay, so someone just asked about the Prakhar collab. I'm not sure whether we should ask this right now because let's try and keep it to the Air Maxes, or rather, I'll just ask it like just for one question. Since you are talking about hundreds, there was a recent collab that hundreds did with Prakhar. So Prakhar is basically an Indian homegrown brand,
yeah.
and that happened to drop all around the globe. So have you heard about it?
Um, I think so. I follow the hundreds pretty closely. Um,
Okay.
but it's hard. They do so many collabs
Yeah.
that it is hard to remember which one it is
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there are so many.
true. But
But
definitely
now I'm
this was one of
interested to go and look.
Yeah, this was definitely one of the craziest highlights for all of us over here in India because coming in from a brand with whom we connect personally also and getting to know that okay they are dropping a collaboration with someone like Bobby Hundreds, it's
Yeah.
pretty big deal. It's pretty big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even for India, it happened. The drop happened with the global market, so it was kind of cool to understand okay how the entire thing is growing up.
Yeah. Bobby is a good guy. I remember going to Nike Talk summits with him back in the day.
Okay. So someone just asking, what's your take on accessorizing the sneakers? And how much is it necessary? Like, how much is too much?
What do we mean by accessorizing? Do we mean like putting debris on the shoes or like what I wear
Yeah,
with them?
not really what you wear with them, but a lot of people have recently seen, adding up a lot of these, batches to it with the laces and everything, or with the tongues.
Yeah.
And, some people, I recently saw some people hooking up their keychains with their
Yeah.
sneakers, and the keychain used to spell something, which is more close to them or whatever. So something like that.
Yeah.
And I think there was
I
one, there
think
was a very recent drop of, I think, Jordan 1 mids, which
mhm.
had a lot of these batches in between laces.
Yeah. Um, the most I really do is the debris. Um, is it yeah, the aglets are at the end, right?
Taglets.
I
Yeah.
take those, I usually take those off because they're too
Okay.
heavy or they fall off. I have so many like lost. But I do these the
Yeah.
most. I had a bunch made. And my brother who just joined, hey Airmax, hi Mark. Um, he got me some made in Nike Santa Monica also, and then I made a
Okay.
bunch in New York. But that's
So that's
probably the
that's completely
most.
personal to you.
Yeah.
Customized personal for you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw a question if you don't mind if I can answer.
Sure, sure, sure.
It was what's my favorite non-hyped? Um
Okay.
I don't know if it's I don't think it really was hyped. It was a very niche group back then, but it was the Jeff Staple and sorry, I'm just grabbing it. The Navigation 90s. You can see how worn they are.
Yeah.
Um, they're like you can see all the tread that's off. Like to be able to stomp around in New York
Yeah.
in these and know that they were designed. I mean, look at the detail of the lace and everything. Um, so it's
Yeah.
that's probably my most favorite. I think non-hyped. I think, yeah.
Sure.
Or I
Sure.
also have these too. Um, these I think went on super clearance, but they're a
Oh,
really really good like shoe to wear with
yeah.
everything. They attract a lot of like looks from people that aren't even into sneakers.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So just a second. I think we missed out on a couple of questions. Now they're just talking about it. Hmm. I feel just the way you said that you stomp around with those 90s with the Staples collab. I feel Air Maxes in general until each and every silhouette from ones till at least 97s,
Hmm.
each and every pair looks way more beautiful if they are beaten up. That's just
Yeah,
my personal opinion. But
yeah,
once you start beating them up, it just looks more beautiful and it just feels more uh, crazier with each and every time you wear it, right?
yeah,
There are
yeah,
there are obvious there are obviously a couple of pairs which you would love to keep in a very proper manner, in a very perfect condition, and you wear them as crisp as possible. But Air
yeah.
Maxes, you would just love to beat the hell out of them.
Yeah. So but there's some that like I wouldn't want to get dirty. I did some IDs
Okay. Okay.
when I was in New York for Air Max Con. And then the tongue. because they were HTM.
Yeah,
So I did HTM plus A. So HTM plus Angela.
yeah,
um, so like these I wouldn't want to get dirty, and they're like they can get dirty really, really, really fast.
yeah,
Um, but I feel like shoes that I would probably get dirty the most, honestly, would to just go off subject would be the Dunks. Like
yeah,
I wear my Supremes like all the time. I beat them up. I used to take my dog potty in them.
yeah.
um, but yeah, sorry, I digress. So go ahead.
Sure. I think there are a lot of these people coming in. Nectwins is here. Air Magnos is here. Oh, great.
Yep.
Actually, I used to follow Air Magnos earlier, but I don't think so. Like it because of obviously street sense, I might have lost the connect here and there. But yeah, I really used to follow him back in the day.
Yep, that's my
Uh,
brother.
Oh, that's crazy. We could
Yeah.
probably join him also maybe next time. And is there any sneaker which you would like to show us and probably share a story with it about it, maybe about how you copped it, maybe just line up or whatever.
Um,
Something which is really special to you. Uh, just another sneaker. Just another
yeah.
Air Max rather, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see. There's a few that I have around me, but I want to go back because somebody asked about vintage.
Yeah.
So something that's special to me, and I talk about them always. I had them on display in New York too. Uh, the 96s. These are
Oh,
from
okay.
Tommy Rebel. If anybody's seen Just for Kicks, him and I became
Okay.
pen pals. So the bubble is super fogged up, but I even have like one of the letters that he wrote me a long time ago in the
Okay.
box. I think I had some OG Hirachis and I sent them to him
Okay.
because they were too small for me, and he gave them to his niece as like a birthday present. So when he was in, I think, Philly, he found these and he asked me what size I was, and I told him, and he saw these and grabbed them. I can't wear them anymore, but I have worn them
Yeah.
uh, many, many times. And it's just kind of funny how small our world is, and to know that
Yeah.
you could go anywhere in the world, not just in the States, anywhere in the world like we are now too, and we could probably all meet somebody that we've known online forever and just
Yeah.
have that common denominator.
Definitely, definitely. And also, I feel just the way you showed this pair, I feel, this whole hype, which I think around 2 years back that started off with, say, about the chunkiest sneakers
Hmm.
with the Balenciagas
Yeah.
and, all these other hyped up pairs as well. I
Yeah.
think Gucci Rhytons are also like considered one of them. I think that all started off with Nike Monarchs and of course the Air Maxes.
Hmm. Yeah.
Which one for you but would be like the perfect chunky silhouette or a chunky specific pair which probably goes with anything and everything?
95s. 95s have
Again,
been my answer for everything. Come on.
yeah.
uh,
So, if we actually talk about it, I'm sure like you have ample of 95s, right? But besides 95s, what all other silhouettes, from the Air Max collection do you actually have? I'm sure there's, at least one pair for each and every silhouette.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
uh, but which one's like your go-to besides 95, please?
So I couldn't get the Torontos. And then they had the recall, and a lot of people that got them were very, very lucky. And I have the wrong laces in them right now, but I made a Nike ID to try
Okay.
and be as close as possible to that. Um, Again, I can't find my black laces, but I do like wearing these a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. 96, 97s. A lot of people are asking about 97s.
Yeah. I wish I had more with me, but pretty much like the
Yeah, yeah.
I think I have an older pair. Hang on. Of 97s in here too that I brought. I
How many
brought
pairs can we actually, assume that you actually have of Air
oh,
Maxes?
these ones.
Just okay.
So these I want to say are like 2006. Yep. So sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was asking like how many Air Maxes can we assume that you actually have as a part of your closet?
How many do I have?
Yep. Do you keep a tab on the number of pairs you have?
I don't. I've lost count because I even have like little baby ones.
Oh, these are beautiful.
I got these also.
Yeah.
um, yeah. Uh, I don't even have a number. It's not a lot, not nearly as much as Iceberg, of course. Um, he's like the
He's
godfather of it. And then
yeah,
right after that would probably be Stevie and Chanika and
yeah,
Lala.
yeah.
Um, so I do not compare to them at all. I'd probably say maybe like 75 to 100 that would just be Air Max.
Okay. And besides Air Maxes,
Um, like what do I have or what's the number?
what's the number? Like whatever you have, I'm sure like we can
Yeah.
actually make a documentary about it. I'm sure.
I've donated a lot, especially recently. There were wildfires up here and
Yeah.
in California, so I donated a good portion um, last September. So I'd probably, I don't know, maybe I would say Air Max is like half of my collection, so I probably maybe have like 200 or so.
Around
I
200
don't
pairs.
think I have that many. I donated a lot, and then back in 2007 I ended up having to sell a lot when I lost my job and I paid rent for like a
Okay.
year.
Oh, okay. Sure. But has there been any pair wherein you felt that okay, you wanted that pair, but for that you actually say traded a couple of your personal others? Has it ever happened?
Have I
For
what?
to cop. Have you ever traded your personal pairs for a different pair that you wanted to cop?
Yes. um Trying to think what they were. I think, and it's really hard now. I'm kicking myself because I'm such a fan, but I think I sold my last pair of Dooms and used that with store credit toward some Supremes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But
So
that's not,
we're
yeah,
talking
that's
about the
not Air
Doom Dunks.
Max. Yeah.
We're talking about the Doom Dunks. That's a beautiful, beautiful pair.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and I sold every silver box and pink box. So I regret all of those.
Okay.
And
So,
I sold my Paras. So Derek won't give me my other pair.
I think it's been quite some time since we've been talking to each other, and I'm sure that we can talk a lot. It's just the common love for sneakers and Air Maxes, definitely. But before we actually end up, I really want to know, like, what was your experience while you got inducted in the Masters of Air campaign for Nike, and how was that whole experience all about? Like being there with Tinker, of course, you've talked
Yeah.
about it, but
Yeah.
just with the team and I'm sure there was a lot going around it wherein you must have got to know about the processes also and everything. So what was that
Yeah.
whole experience all about? And to begin with, how did they actually reach out to you? How did they actually pick you up?
So it was very conspicuous how that happened. One friend said, "Hey, I heard that, or not. I heard that, but they were like, somebody told me that you have like a lot of Air Maxes and that you love Air Maxes. What's going on? Tell me about that." And then another friend from Oregon called and asked the same thing, and I was like, this is weird. And he asked what, and I said, somebody just called me like 2 days ago and asked me very similar questions. So I
Okay.
think I ended up on two different lists of suggestions, possibly.
Okay.
Um, and from what I was told, is they were looking for just absolute, like lovers of Airmax, not necessarily the biggest collection or the biggest
Yeah.
name or even the biggest following. And I've been upfront since day one that I don't have that many, in comparison, of course. And I
Yeah.
also don't claim to know everything for sure. But my love was so deep that I have Airmax tattoos, and they
Yeah.
really found that story genuine, because I got the tattoo on my foot when I was working in an office where they wouldn't let me wear sneakers, and I just basically got the tattoo to always have my Air Max on. And that's the story behind that tattoo. It's
Okay.
literally on my foot where the tongue would be for the 95.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah. um, so that was the first round of interviews, and then I had a few conference calls with the team and talked more. And I think within days, they were at my house and in my storage unit with a film crew. Um,
Oh,
because it was February and Air Max Day was coming.
yeah.
So it was a very, very quick and fast thing. And hours filming straight, pretty much. I think we broke for lunch, and that was about it. We went and ate
Yeah.
at one of my favorite places. If anyone here knows, Bocce Burger is really good. It's like
Okay.
fusion. Anyway, sorry. um, and I think from after that, they said, well, we want to invite you to come to New York. We're going to pick one of the others to come out, and we'll put some of your collection on display. We're thinking of doing like a big Air Max Con in New York. So I think a month later, I went a month after filming, I went to New York and I shipped out I think my top 25 or top 50. I had to put it in a spreadsheet and kind of go over it. And I shipped that and arrived at the hotel like probably at the same time. Put everything on display. This is 2016 March, and that's where they debuted the film. And that is where I first met Iceberg, who is so
Yeah.
sweet. um, and I mean his collection crushed mine. So I was like, why am I even
Okay.
here? I'm not really this good. But of course, it's just an honor and to be there. And I just said that I showed up with love, and that's pretty much
Yeah.
all most that I had to offer was just, being humble and honest. I can't fake it, especially when you're standing next to Iceberg. He's like the king. um, when we went, oh, so we received a letter when we were at Air Max Con. I hope this isn't like too drawn out. I'm sorry.
No, no.
Um, we received a letter from Tinker. I think all of us received it at the same time. And Iceberg and I opened ours, and it was inviting us to campus. I said,
Okay.
I wish I had it with me. I think it's in a different part of the office. Um, it said, you welcomed us into your home, and we'd like to welcome you to ours. More to come was the gist of the letter. And so we went in June, June 6th. So that was just a couple months after that. They flew us all up to Oregon. And I'm from Oregon, but I was living in Las Vegas at the time. So I extended my trip a little bit so that I could visit friends and family, both on and off campus. And just kind of like go around and see everything. But it was really neat. That was all of our first time meeting each other, with the exception of me and Iceberg. And I think Stevie and Lala had already met. Um,
Okay.
Gosh, I feel like I'm rambling, but it was such an exciting time because it wasn't, I mean, obviously there's a huge focus and fan and stardom on Tinker, but
Yeah.
there, there's just so many great people that we met, that put this whole program together, this whole campaign, and I still talk to a lot of them, and I know that they still talk to a lot of the other masters too. Uh, and put the O in front of her G. Thank you. um, so sorry, I got thrown off by that. There was there's all the directors and designers. Pretty much everyone came into the room when we were talking to Tinker, and then they gave us like this itinerary of where we were going to go on campus and what we were going to do, and free time to shop, and they gave us all like vouchers and stuff, I think, to the employee store. And really it was just most fun, like getting to know everyone. We were all staying in the same hotel, so we would see each other like in the lobby and stuff, and then on the way and before everything. Yeah, I don't know. Going into the kitchen and to the archives, we got to see, I think they pulled out every Airmax possible and put it
Yeah.
on display in this room for us. And that was like epic. They filmed us. I think I did the worst. I mean, I stumble on my words talking here to somebody that I'm even more comfortable with. Um, but I couldn't, like, they, every time they asked me, what's your first impression? I was like, curse words. It was just inappropriate. They couldn't use anything that I had on film,
Okay.
because I was just in awe being around everything that they
Yeah.
put on display. And a little side note, in the corner of that room, they still had every single SB on display from a previous meeting. So that
Oh,
was
okay.
really cool to see. Just to see all the good stuff from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
We had dinner with Tinker that night, and since I sat next to him, I was at the corner of the table at the lunch. I tried to sit in the most inconspicuous spot. So I sat in the middle, not near the head of the table at all. He
Yeah.
sat right across from me.
Wow.
um,
I can imagine all that happening like in my head. Like
yeah,
I'm actually a visual thinker, so I can
yeah,
imagine all that happening over here, and it really feels surreal at the same time. But I'm sure it was like nerve-wracking for you.
yeah. It was awesome and awful at the same time, because it was just too much at once. It was
Yeah.
just so much, and I mean, I have sweaty hands just thinking about it. um and
I have sweaty hands even imagining about it,
yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah. And he's honestly, the 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 funnest part about that was just talking to him about normal life. Not talking about sneakers, just
Yeah.
asking him about things. I think my biggest question that I asked him, and I'm really sorry, I don't think I can share it with you. But I asked him about Kanye.
Okay.
uh, that was, he basically just didn't work with him after a while, and that was
Okay.
it. So yeah. But yeah, hearing his explanation of everything and talking about that. And then he was talking about surfing. And he was designing, I think, a bike, like a motorcycle.
Okay.
And he talked about his architecture of the university, the new stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So if actually if anyone over here doesn't actually know about it, he is actually an architect. Tinker is actually an architect.
yeah.
And later on, he actually got hired with Nike because he had to design a campus for Nike. I don't know which one, to be very honest,
Mhm.
but he was joined with Nike to design a specific campus, and that's when he got into all this, and that's when he came up with this idea of having the Air Max ones to begin with, and then obviously everyone knows rest is history.
Yeah, with the Pompidou Center and everything. He did tell us a story about the Air Max one that we can talk about, I think.
Okay.
Um, it was basically, I'm pretty sure this has been on film before. He was talking about how he would almost get him and Mark Parker would get death threats. They would get hate notes and post-its, left on their office door or left on their desk,
Okay.
and no one wanted the Air Max to happen. So he talked about how he received a lot of hate for that internally. So had he not pushed, basically, if you believe in something, just keep pushing,
Yeah.
because had he not continued to push, we wouldn't have the entire lineage of Air
Yeah.
Max.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
And I feel, it's always just the first step that's probably difficult, and eventually once it pops out, it just becomes like a butter on a hot plate.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
literally is the case. It literally is the case.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been quite some time since we've been talking, but it really feels that we can talk so much.
I
You know,
know.
I still have so many questions to ask you, but yeah, getting a chance to connect with you, having you on board with us, connecting with you has been like really surreal. It has not been just you, and obviously we'll be having Iceberg and Chanika with us
Yeah.
to have somewhat similar conversations and talk about their collections also. But I also got a chance to connect with Stevie and Lala
Yeah.
and Ken and all these people.
Yeah.
Obviously, for one reason or the other, things could not match up, be it the time zones. Majorly, of course, it was the time zones,
Yeah.
and in some cases, it was also about the fact that everyone had their prior commitments and their schedules up.
Yeah.
Any which ways, it's a Friday. Had it been
Yeah.
a weekend, I'm sure that we would have made sure that everyone gets on board, like all nine of you, like no
Yeah.
matter how, but we would have made sure that we got all nine of you with us. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, maybe next time for sure.
Yeah, because we're all still family. We all still talk to each other, for the most part. I mean, I think I've gone to Lala with like boyfriend questions when I was first dating
Okay.
the father of my babies. So,
Okay.
yeah, and Iceberg is just the sweetest.
Yeah, Lala has been really sweet while we've been having all this conversation, but obviously, like she had her commitments, she had her job, she obviously again with her family thing, it just could not happen. And obviously,
Yeah,
it's a weekday, so obviously we could not push for different or weird timings.
yeah.
But
But it's
it's
great because you
honestly,
got Chanika too, and she is such a sweetheart. I love her.
yeah, yeah, and I'm sure the conversation with her is also going to be great and insane.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, even through this whole digital space, we can definitely build up an even better and a bigger relationship with all you guys. And hopefully, we're gonna see you super soon.
Yeah. Happy Air
Thank
Max
you.
Day. Bye, guys.
Happy Air Max Day. Thank you so much for joining us and take care. I think for you, I can say have a good night.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep for
Yeah.
a little while and then wake up for whatever Air Max Day is online.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. And I'm sure, like, bacon's gonna happen for you. All the
Oh,
best for that too.
I'm wishing. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be a part of it, and I'm sorry we didn't get to answer every question, but we tried.
Yeah, we tried, and I'm sure like it's not ending right now. We're gonna have her back soon, and we're gonna have other people also back soon. So yeah, thank you so very much, and have a good night.
Good night.
So yeah, guys, that was Angela. Thank you so very much for joining, and it was crazy. It was, again, as she was feeling the way she met Tinker. This is each and every time when I get to connect with someone like her, or say Joe Foster or Kenzo, and all these people, I felt the same way each and every single time. And to be very honest, that has only happened because of all you guys, the way you guys have been supporting us. So thank you so very much. Happy Airmax Day. There's a lot happening at Street Sense and at Street Sense Marketplace. So check all that out. And stay tuned for the other guests also coming in. So yeah, thank you so very much. And I'll see you guys super soon. Today itself. I won't say next time, but or next day, but today itself. The next one is I think at 3:30. Uh, Sorry, it's at 6:30. Yeah, with Chanika, it's at 6:30. So I'll catch up with you guys at that point in time. And cheers, guys. Take care. Happy Air Max Day and share your on-feet looks, guys. What is it that you guys are wearing today? And what's your Air Max collection looks like? Just share it ahead and let's just have some fun today. Take care. Have a great day.